4 commanders in one box, the first 4-color Precon in a decade, and an engine that only asks one thing of you: cast a non-creature spell every turn. Today we tune Marvel's Fantastic Four deck twice, a $20 refit and a $300 dream build. I'm Kai. Welcome to the arena. Every one of the 4 commanders reads the same way. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've cast a non-creature spell this turn, something great happens. Reed draws a card, Sue builds a wall, Johnny turns into a flying, double-striking missile, and Ben puts 4 +1/+1 counters on himself. The whole deck is one promise: flip that switch every single turn. And Mr. Fantastic goes further. Pay his 4 colors, tap him, and he copies any triggered ability you control twice. That is the loop. Guarantee the trigger, then multiply the payoff. Reed is the one we're building around today, and the numbers agree. Nearly half the pilots on EDHREC pick him out of the 4. 3 mana, Vigilance, Reach. Cast a non-creature spell, draw a card every single combat. And that tap ability copies any trigger you control twice. His own draw, a payoffs trigger, anything on your side of the table. He's card advantage and a combo engine on one card. And if you'd rather lead with Sue, Ben, or Johnny, every swap today works for all 4. The reviews all land the same 3 punches. The mana is the big one. 37 lands, but slow, tapped fixing, and barely any ramp for a 4-color deck. The card draw is thin, about 8 real sources, and a handful of slots are pure flavor. Galactus is a 12/12 that costs 10 and does nothing for the plan. Silver Surfer's only job is fetching him. Willie Lumpkin is the mailman. Lovely fellow. Cut every one of them. The budget build. 12 swaps, $19.38. 1 headliner, and 11 workhorses. Let's go! Improvisation Capstone is the whole reason this package works. 7 mana. Flip cards off the top until you hit total mana value 4 or more, and cast them all for free. But read the bottom line. Paradigm. After it resolves once, you may cast a free copy at the beginning of your first main phase. Every turn. For the rest of the game. That is a guaranteed non-creature spell. Forever. Every commander trigger in this deck. Permanently switched on. Stormkiln Artist makes a treasure every time you cast or copy an instant or sorcery. Those treasures fix your 4-color mana, and they bank up for the commander's red, green, white, blue activations. In this deck, he isn't a dwarf, he's a mint. Shark Typhoon. Every non-creature spell now comes with a flying shark the size of its mana cost. And when you draw it too early, cycle it for a card, and you still get the shark. It is never, ever a dead card. Nature's Lore. 2 mana and the forest arrives untapped. And it can grab Canopy Vista or Cinderglade, so one spell fixes 2 colors at once. This is the ramp the mana base was begging for. Stock Up looks at 5 cards and keeps the best 2. Cheap, smooth, and it flips the commander switch on the way through. Consistency in the deck that needed it most. Swords to Plowshares. 1 mana. Exile anything. The Precon already runs Path to Exile. Now you hold both, and you are never caught without an answer again. Veyran, Voice of Duality, is the quiet all-star. Whenever an instant or sorcery you cast triggers a permanent you control, that ability triggers twice. 2 cards off the Archmage, 2 treasures off Stormkiln, 2 monks off the Mentor. Every payoff in the deck, doubled, for under $1. Monastery Mentor turns every non-creature spell into a 1/1 monk with prowess. Casts 2 spells in a turn, and a board just appears. He is the go-wide plan all by himself. Archmage Emeritus draws you a card for every instant or sorcery you cast or copy. And remember what Reed does to triggered abilities. Copy the Archmage's trigger twice, and 1 spell just drew you 3 cards. Spire of Industry. Control any artifact, a soul ring, a signet, a treasure, and it makes every color untapped for 1 life. Evolving Wilds was costing you a whole turn. This costs you almost nothing. Third Path Iconoclast is Mentor number 2, a 1/1 artifact soldier for every non-creature spell. The tokens even switch on Spire of Industry. 2 mana, Endless Bodies. And Goblin Electromancer makes your instants and sorceries cost 1 less. That isn't a discount, that's a whole extra spell every few turns, which means extra triggers, for 12 cents. The whole budget package on one screen. 12 in, 12 out, $19.38. Every swap pointed at the same plan. Now the baller build. 11 swaps, $292. Same philosophy, zero compromises. Fierce Guardianship. If you control a commander, and you will, it is a free counterspell. Protect the engine for 0 mana, and because it's a non-creature spell, it even flips your trigger on the way through. Ristic Study needs no introduction. Do they pay the one, or do you draw the card? Ask that question 100 times a game. The Precon's draw problem doesn't get patched, it gets deleted. Smothering Tithe makes you a treasure every time an opponent draws a card. One lap around the table, and you're up 3 mana of any color. The 4-color mana problem? Solved by an enchantment that pays you to sit there. Cyclonic Rift replaces Cleansing Nova because your board is an army of monks, soldiers, and sharks now. You want the reset that only hits them. One-sided, instant speed, and very often just the end of the game. Panoptic Mirror might be the sneakiest card in the build. Imprint an instant or sorcery, and every upkeep you may cast a free copy of it. That is a guaranteed non-creature spell before combat even starts. Every commander trigger, on autopilot. And this deck hands it haymakers. Imprint Recurring Insight, and every upkeep you draw cards equal to the biggest hand at the table, for free. Or go greedy with Genesis Ultimatum. Every turn opens with the top 5 cards of your library, and the permanents just land. Here's the trick. The Exile Clause only eats the copy. The imprinted card stays locked in the mirror, doing it again next turn. Sylvan Library sees 3 cards every single turn and keeps the quality flowing all game. Decades old and still one of the best enchantments Green has ever printed. And yes, the Fantastic Four themselves. The team card is not in the Precon. It's a separate printing from the set, and it is perfect here. Every spell with power, toughness, or mana value 4, you choose. Build a wall, hit every opponent for 3, grow a creature, or draw a card. The family, reunited in their own deck. It had to be here. Mystic Remora is Ristic Study's early game twin. Opponents pay 4 for every non-creature spell, or you draw a card. In the opening turns of a commander game, that is a river of cards for 1 blue mana. Underworld Breach gives every card in your graveyard 1 more cast. You are a 23 sorcery deck. That's a whole second hand, waiting in the yard for the turn you go off. Strionic Resonator copies any triggered ability you control for 2. It's Reed's signature move again. Copy is draw, copy Ben's 4 counters, copy Franklin's discover 6. Redundancy for the deck's best trick. And Lithoform Engine is the Resonator with settings. Copy a trigger, copy an instant or sorcery, copy a permanent spell. Whatever the game asks for, the engine has a dial for it. The Baller Build, all on one screen. 11 in, 11 out. Every dollar buying a trigger, a multiplier, or a shield. Where the money goes. 3 big engines up top. Then the curve falls off a cliff. Nearly half this package is under $10 a card. Grab the singles, sleeve them up, and flip that switch every single turn. Get them at arcanearena.net. Every single at real market price, starting at just 49 cents. Full deck lists and prices are in the description. This episode was written by Rob, the founder of Arcane Arena, and narrated by me, Kai. It's clobberin' time!